I tell you what, it's just been a brilliant build-up to this, the final round. There's 9 rounds down, just 1 to go. Who will it be who gets the jump? Craig Lowndes, if he can get away, which he does. He gets away to a terrific start. Perkins forward driver Jason Wright, he didn't do too bad either. Longhurst has been swamped. Skaife's got the outside run.
Oh, look at Ingall. Now watch for turn 1 up the inside here. If everybody gets through this without Skaife, we'd be very simple.
They do. Brilliant work. Jason Wright's come up into third spot. He holds his position.
Look at Ingall muscling on the inside of turn 1, right up beside the Ford Credit Falcon. He has to make positions very, very quickly if he's going to be in contention to challenge Lowndes in this one. And he really has made some ground. There he is, up behind the first of the Cummins Valvoline Commodores. But it's Craig Lowndes and Mark Skaife, the Holden Racing Team steamroller up front.
Well, congratulations to all of them. How smooth were they until then? John Bow just came in contact with the wall, got pushed wide a little bit there, but everything else has been terrific. It's been so smooth. Bright's got a battle on his hands already with Tony Longhurst. Longhurst has dropped back a couple of positions. Skaife was quick to get up there, but it's Craig Lowndes who leads the way. Looks like Seaton is back there in 5th position.
Yeah, well, the thing that Ingall has got to be very, very careful of is not to get in too much of a panic, in too much of a hurry to make up the places. I know it's a tight circuit, but really, he has to kind of calm himself down a little bit.
Well, very encouraging performance by Russell Ingall in the warm-up this morning. He was only 0.04 of a second behind the fastest man, Mark Skaife. So plenty of speed on the Castrol VT Commodore. He's sitting back there in the order now as they come across the start-finish line.
Well, he's already picked up 2 positions. He's come from 9th off the grid up into 7th. He's right behind Gartetta. There you go. You can see it for yourselves out the windscreen of Russell Ingall's VT Commodore. He's got quite a few places to catch up if he wants to try and catch Lowndes. The important thing is, though, is that the enforcer must stay in this race. He's got to finish, otherwise Lowndes could creep away with it in this one.
Yeah, by the same token, Lowndes, even though he wants to pull a bit of a gap on the front, he can't afford to sort of go bananas to pull out a big gap because, all the time he's running the risk of going off the circuit and putting himself out of the points.
Well, a lot of controversial decisions on-track incidents at Hidden Valley 2 weeks ago. So a lot of these drivers are going to be very conscious, not stepping out of line, not copying the wrath of the officials. But Russell Ingall particularly has the heat on. He's pursuing Craig Lowndes as he tries to build a lead at the front. He's got it up to 1 second on his teammate Skaife.
Well, Barguana's come up from 11th into 10th position on that last lap. How many do you want on the track? There's 32 cars out there duking it out, and Russell Ingall's got Garth Tander in his sights at the moment. There's your top 4. Lowndes, Skaife, they go through. Bright has pulled out maybe 3 or 4 car lengths on Tony Longhurst. Then it's Glenn Seaton who's sitting there in 5th. Tander 6th, and then Ingall back in 7th. Those positions haven't changed.
Good drive from Tander.
Very good drive from the 20-year-old. He qualified extremely well, and there he is sitting in 6th position. He is in the hot spot at the moment, no doubt about that.
Well, we've seen Craig Lowndes do some scintillating times in the opening laps on cold tyres. He's always able to build a buffer. Not so this weekend. Mark Skaife staying with him. He's just 0.8 of a second behind Lowndes in the new Mobil 1 VT Commodore. Jason Bright back there in 3rd position. Then Tony Longhurst. Sensational running qualifying to get on the front row. He's on the new Level 1 Dunlop tyres this weekend, and the car is going like a train.
Makes a bit of a difference, doesn't it? He's going exceptionally well. The Castrol Ford. Down onto the bottom part of the circuit they go. He was wrapped yesterday to qualify 2nd. He's sitting 4th at the moment. Seaton behind, another Ford driver, Bright in front.
So good for Longhurst because for so long he struggled so badly, and people said, is it really the tyres? And there's little doubt now.
Exactly that. Well, we have a look back. There is Russell Ingall. This is what work he has in front of him. He's got Tander, Seaton, Longhurst, Bright and Skaife all in front of him before he gets up to the man who he has to mix it with. He won't get there this race unless something untoward happens to Lowndes. We have a look at the triple emmetry on board with Russell Ingall.
Well, judging by Russell's normal sort of performance, he gets past as many as quick as he can, and he seems to have settled into a bit of a pace. Lap time-wise, lapping virtually the same speed as Tander.
Yeah, you look at those lap times in the top 6 or 7, they're all running on the 1:08.87 for Lowndes, Skaife, 1:08.76. They're only separated by hundredths of a second, this leading 8 or 9 cars.
Pressure because he's never had pressure like this, that's for sure. Tell you what, it's back to Formula 4 days for Garth, but I tell you it's a little bit more serious at the moment. This is the grand final of the Shell V8 Supercar Championship, and he's sitting right in front of the man who is trying to get his first title, his first. There's Perkins out. Flat tyre by the looks of it, shredded tyre.
Yeah, it's shredded by the looks of it, yeah, it's flat anyhow.
Dunlop teams running a new experimental. Oh, there's some damage there too for Dick Johnson. Looks like he's got
another flat tyre. Oh, 2 Dunlop flats.
Well, this is interesting stuff. Dunlop has been experimenting with a new construction tyre this weekend. There's a bit of a punt to see if they get an edge. And hopefully these 2 incidents happening to Larry Perkins and Dick Johnson aren't a reflection on this new tyre. We'll hopefully wait and see. Have our fingers crossed for Russell Ingall, because he's on exactly the same rubber.
Well, that's it for the meantime. They're both coming in together, Dick Johnson and Larry Perkins together, coming into the pit, so I'll have to whack a new one on. Here's the contact.
Oh, there you go. That's one of that. So there's your answer to your
You can wipe
that's pretty easy solved, isn't it?
Yeah, you can wipe your brow on that one. That's where the...
But Dunlop's on panicking so bad now.
So back into pit lane for Dick Johnson and Larry Perkins. Bit of contact there. Meanwhile, here's our race leader, Craig Lowndes. And that gap, he's not been able to build that buffer over Mark Skaife. It's remained at 0.8 to 1 second. These opening 4 laps, 5 laps completed. As Lowndes crossed the start finish line time, a slow one for Lowndes too, a 1:10.21. Skaife 4 or 5 tenths quicker that time around.
Well, it's the perfect scenario for the Mobil 1 HRT outfit, because Mark Skaife was having a private battle with Larry Perkins for the 3rd spot in the championship. I'm sure the HRT boys have told Skaife that Larry has come in for some problems. Maybe they have, maybe they haven't, but it's certainly playing into his hands nicely, and he can sit there as rear guard for his teammate. Perhaps today will be the new Shell V8 Supercar champ for the 2nd time in his career, 1996. In his debut year, he took out the title, and he could do it in his 2nd year as well.
Jason Bright's catching the 2 HRT guys.
Yeah, that gap coming down between these leading 3. Bridgestone on board camera. Bridgestone driver profile. Craig Lowndes. So the statistics there. Unbelievable winning ratio. 11 wins from only 19 starts. Incredible winning ratio. Over 60% for this young man. Very, very rarely you'll see him not on the podium at the end of a Shell touring car round. Here he is leading, and John Power got problems here.
Look at the smoke in that.
He's got a real